Good afternoon, Facebook. Thank you so much for tuning in. Those of you that are hopping on to join us, this is our third session of our Family Strong series, our Facebook Live Q&A. We are so grateful that you're spending your lunch hour. Possibly you grabbed your lunch and you're sitting, and hopefully that you'll be able to be inspired and take something away from this interview today. I'm really excited about today's interview. First of all, to introduce you to a great business leader in this community, but also a business that has been here for 92 years. So a little sneak peek, but more on that in just a second. If we've never had the opportunity of meeting, I'm Lindsay Keisler. I am humbled to be the president and CEO of the Chamber of Catawba County. And I am also grateful to have our sponsor today join us. So Mike Kelly with Hickory Real Estate Group, he has been so generous to sponsor our Family Strong Facebook Live Q&A series. So Mike, I want to turn it over to you to say a couple words.
I appreciate it, Lindsay. Thanks for having me on today. We really appreciate the opportunity for being able to sponsor a series. It's been really interesting to see all the businesses in our area that are on third, fourth, and in this case, fifth generation of family business. And I'm definitely looking forward to the discussion with Korey today. So really, excited to see it. For those who don't know us, Hickory Real Estate Group, we are a real estate company based in Hickory, North Carolina. And we serve the 4 counties of Catawba, Caldwell, Alexander, and Burke counties. And, if you guys want to find us, we're on Facebook. We have a website, hickoryrealestategroup.com. And just thanks again for the opportunity to sponsor this. And like I said, looking forward to today.
Thanks, Mike, very much for your partnership. Also, Mike, you might not know, he serves on our board of directors. We're grateful for his leadership. And kudos to him and Kathleen for now being 11 years as their own business with Hickory Real Estate Group. So thank you again, Mike, for being here with us.
Thanks, Lindsay.
All right. So those of you that are hopping on, thank you and welcome. So you're watching our Facebook Live Q&A series featuring, we call it Family Strong. So featuring multi-generational, in many cases, certainly is the case today, of family-owned businesses that continue to employ people that have stood the test of time, that believe in generational leadership, and certainly they consider their employees as a part of their own family. And so again, I want to encourage you to engage. So you are watching this live. We're doing this in real time. And so with that, I want you to share the video. So will you share for us so that more people can see and hear what Korey Garner has to say? Also react. So you can you can do a heart, you can do a wow face. So we encourage you, if you like something that you hear, engage with the feed. The more you engage with us, the more Facebook likes us, and the better chance that more people can hear from this business leader today. You can also start a watch party. That's always really fun. So if you click start a watch party, you can actually see which one of your friends hop on and watch this interview today. So thank you in advance for doing that. You can also ask a question. So if you hear something and you want us to dig a little bit deeper, or you like something, you want to make a comment, go ahead and do that. So I have the ability to see comments, and I will do my best to weave that into the discussion. So again, thank you for being on here and being a viewer. We hope that at the end of this, you'll be inspired. Maybe you'll learn something you didn't know prior. Maybe you'll hear about Carpenter Decorating Company and not even realize that they've been in this community for many generations. So without further ado, I would love to introduce to you my special guest today. So Korey Carpenter Garner, she's the president of Carpenter Decorating Company. Korey, thanks for joining me today.
Hi, Lindsay. Thank you for having me here today. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about our business.
We are so excited to have you to talk about your family business. And it's something that's near and dear to you. Before the interview, she talked about even climbing around on boxes when she was a little girl. And so I look forward for you guys to hear what she has to say. just a little bit about Korey. If you've never had the opportunity to meet her, Korey Carpenter Garner is the president of Carpenter Decorating Company. She attended App State University, majored in international business and psychology. She's the 5th generation leader for this great company. Carpenter Decorating is one of the largest manufacturers of commercial Christmas decorations in North America. In addition to leading the business, she's also mom to her daughter Emma and wife to her husband Ryan. I believe they also have a dog and a cat. And Ryan also works with her at Carpenter Decorating. So again, Korey, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Lindsay.
All right. So as we do every interview, which is really popular, it's this rapid fire Q&A. So we're going to get to know Korey in 5 minutes or less. And you guys not only can see her as president of this local company, but you see her as a person and get to know her a little bit about what she's passionate about and kind of what she feels and maybe things that are important to her. So here we go, Korey. You ready?
I'm ready.
Ready or not, right? Here we go. So, Korey, in your opinion, what's the most important quality of leadership?
I would probably say integrity.
Summer, fall, winter, or spring?
Spring.
What is one cause that is near and dear to your heart?
Animal rescue.
What skill do you think everyone should have?
Listening without speaking first.
Love that. What's the best piece of advice you've received?
Always take it one tree at a time. Never look too far through the forest. You lose sight of where you're going.
Love that. What is your favorite spot in Catawba County?
Probably on the lake.
If you could have a 15-minute conversation with anyone, who would it be?
It would be my grandfather.
What book have you read that had the most impact on you professionally?
I would say a mixture of professional and personal would be The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
What is your personal mantra?
Expect nothing, appreciate everything.
If you gave a TED Talk, what would the subject be?
Using technology to have a balance between a working mother and a career. So to balance family.
I love it. We all need that. If you had 25 hours in a day, what would you use the extra hour for?
To spend time with my daughter.
When you aren't at work, where can we find you?
Probably the gym.
If you could jet set anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Right now, it would be New Zealand.
Love it. What's your favorite family tradition?
It's probably Saturday morning snuggles in the bed watching cartoons.
Oh, I love it. And then what's one word you would use to describe working with family?
Balance.
Great, great. Well, if you're just hopping on, you are seeing Korey Carpenter Garner. She's the president of Carpenter Decorating Company. And this is the Family Strong series. So thank you for hopping on. Maybe you're enjoying your lunch. And we look forward to hearing more from Korey. So I'm going to go right into it. So Korey, tell us about Carpenter Decorating Company. Tell us a little bit about the history and then what you guys do today.
Carpenter Decorating started in 1928 with my great-great-grandmother and my great-grandfather. We make commercial Christmas decorations, and we ship them all over the world. Our main area is North America and South America. This is our 92nd year in business. It started as a 400-acre farm on Grandfather Mountain. They sold Christmas trees. They had a greenhouse. And our first job, the first thing we were commissioned for was the gas lamp post in Gastonia. So we took my family took holly and balsam and decorated the lamppost in Gastonia, and that was our first job. It's kind of morphed through the decades. It's gone from a lot of natural greenery and elements like that to obviously plastics and lights and just all kinds of new materials. So,
well, that's a really neat story. So something that your great grandfather, a tree farm that's turned into a manufacturing company that produces commercial Christmas products or decorations for communities and attractions around the globe. That's quite incredible. And I know that there's been some evolution, like you said, from real balsam and designs all to now artificial, which I'm sure is due to sustainability and reuse of materials. But that's what a great story. And when we talk about commercial Christmas decorations, Korey, how would you describe what those are?
Those are large scale decorations. They're mostly used outside. They can obviously be used inside. They're designed to last through the elements. They're very large displays. We have anything from a 5-foot display to a 200-foot display.
Yeah, and it's really meant to bring joy, right? And to celebrate the holidays. Those of you who were super excited that, our coffee shops now have pumpkin spice lattes, right? Those are the ones that are super excited about this interview right now. And if my 5-year-old and 3-year-old, they would be excited because they've already been playing Christmas music to go to bed at night. So this is pretty incredible. So if you would go down to, say, Tanglewood, right, Korey? If you go down to Tanglewood, you see the large lighting displays and the garland. Or if you go to downtown Conover, downtown Newton, other communities across our state, but also across the country, and you see the displays on the light poles, those are the things that Korey is talking about, right, Korey?
Yes.
So really, really neat. So now you talked about you being a part of this business just by default, right? Being the daughter of the former president. But what compelled you to then take on the family legacy and carry it forward? What compelled you to start in the business, and what was that moment like for you?
One, I admired what my dad did. I admired his passion to continue his family's legacy through business. I went to college and did international business pretty much for that reason. And when I was done, I really love the creative aspect of what we do. That's a fun part for me every day, is to see colorful things and lights that make you feel happy. It's a nostalgia that it creates for everyone else, and no one knows that we're right down the road, and we create all this Christmas magic for such a large part of the world. And to me, that's why I got back into it, why I love it.
I couldn't imagine going to work every day and it being Christmas. I mean, what better way to make a Monday better, right? To walk in the back and see these Christmas decorations being made, especially in a year like 2020, right? We're all wishing that Christmas would come and go, and that tick, would go July 1, 2021. But very, very, very cool. So you talked about your dad and how much you admired about him. Maybe share some other qualities and experiences in working with generations before you. What stuck out? What were some of those experiences that you could share with us?
We started in 1928. And so to think back on my great-grandfather and great-great-grandmother and their creativity then, their vision for the future and how it's progressed, and through uncles and great uncles and my dad, and just family members, just bringing it all into the 21st century is just really amazing when I stop to think about how they had a vision almost 100 years ago, and we're still bringing that vision to fruition.
Yeah, I love when I meet entrepreneurs. There's it's innate, right? They have the ability to fill a need, like to see a need or find a problem and fill it. Um, and then just adapting because those needs change over time. So going from Fraser for actual trees from a agribusiness to then transitioning to helping municipalities celebrate Christmas to then transitioning to artificial and having a manufacturing facility, like you said, and then passing it along through 5 generations and continuing to be successful and to grow. That's pretty remarkable. And I love that you wanted to be a part of that and continue to carry it forward. So talking about that evolution, how have trends changed over the years, and how have you guys evolved to adapt to meet those?
Well, taking it all the way back, starting with the greenhouse with greenery, and then going to a small shed, less than 5,000 square feet. We had 1 or 2 welders, and it was just so elemental, to now we have, then it went to 25-watt bulbs, then it went to C9s. Now we're doing a lot of things with mini lights, and you see the trends going. Right now, it's a lot of European inspired designs. It's very big European market. You still have your Midwest people that like the old school traditional. It is just trying to find a balance between those two and staying with what works, but also trying to move into the future and come up with new designs and things that haven't been seen before.
So if we would walk into Carpenter Decorating today, we walk in the front doors, we go into the back where the production, all the magic happens, so to speak. Describe what we would see happening.
We have approximately 125 workers. You would see people making garland. We get it's sheets of basically PVC plastic. We cut them down. I mean, we go from the very basic. We do everything in-house. We make our own garland. We have about 35 welders who are making these big displays. We have people that are screwing light bulbs in. We have people that are doing animation. It's a little bit of everything in it.
Well, and talk about 125 employees. Something unique. I understand you guys have some employees that have been there for generations, or at least for decades. So maybe talk a little bit about that.
Talking about family-owned business, it's really, truly, in every aspect, a family business. We have had every single one of our supervisors has been there 30 plus years. I think we have one supervisor that's been there almost 45 years. A majority of our employees have been there between 20 and 30 years. I grew up around more than half of our employees when I was 2 and 3 years old, who now I work with. So they're like family. We have a lot of family members that have family members that work there. So it encompasses every meaning of the word family business.
That's awesome. And I know that there's in Catawba County, we take pride in the fact of our craftsmanship, the fact that we make things here and engineer things. And so obviously it's a great place to have a company like Carpenter Decorating. And the fact that you have 35 welders is incredible. But there's pride in making things, and there's pride in seeing the finished product. And so talk about some of the displays that you're most proud of that you've seen come through and out and into bring the public joy.
My favorite probably right now is we did a really large, it was 40-foot by 30-foot peacock up in Rockefeller Center this January. It was for NBC Studios and the launch of their new Peacock streaming service. And it was really cool to see it being built. I was lucky enough to go with my daughter up to New York to see it in all its glory, and to see everybody taking pictures with it and celebrities taking pictures with it. And that's something that's not necessarily Christmas. It's outside the normal realm of Christmas decorations. And honestly, we do a lot of things that are not just Christmas. But as of right now, that's probably my favorite. We do that's what I love about my job is you never know what somebody's going to ask you for the next day when you get there. We have breweries that ask us to make hops. We have Lincoln County that have us make apples for their apple drop, and just different. We have a lot of people ask us for New Year's Eve ball drops and things like that are just, it's a creative aspect that's just really fun.
I love it. I love it. So you talked about one word that you used to describe working with family was balance. And you've also referred to, truly being a family business, not just family run, but you have multi-generations that work in the business. You've got people that are like family as a part of your team. What are some other important factors of running a family business?
A big one is when you have different generations in the same family, obviously somebody's done something right to continue. So they have one idea of how things should be. You have another. Mm-hmm. And it's really trying to take the best of what both people believe and find a common ground to take it forward. You want to keep the traditional, you want to keep what has propelled you into the future, but you also want to have modern. You want to keep up with the trends. And so it's just finding a common balance, a common ground, and trying to respect someone else's view while respecting your own.
That's great. That's great. And I think that's also an advantage of running a family business as well. It's because the next generation does have a different perspective. But yet the generation before you with your dad, he had so much respect, right? And he had carried it along for so many years. So yeah, you're right. I love the fact that you've got to change and evolve. And I think the next generation, their perspective is valuable in that way. So, you mentioned you guys do a lot of things other than just holiday, right? You've got special requests all the time. So, but yet the business is probably still slants pretty seasonal. So what is it, tell us about, the unique circumstance of running more of a seasonal business than a normal business.
I would say with seasonal business, it's difficult because coming into the year, we don't know what to expect. Mm-hmm. Everything for the most part is custom. Everything, politics, election years, everything like that can change. Mm-hmm. We don't go in having a certain projection because we did this amount last year, or so it's a big ebb and flow of ups and downs, and certain parts of the year we're obviously busier than others. And I guess you just don't know what to expect. That's a big part of it, is just adapting. August, September comes around and people start thinking about Christmas, and then you get inundated with orders. And so we don't know, we have to hire people. We have to get more materials, and just trying to kind of flow with that is different.
That's great. We do have a question from Facebook. What's the furthest away country? What country furthest away that you currently work with?
Guatemala. We've done stuff in Africa, Ireland, um, um, places in Europe.
That's cool. It's really cool. Um, all right. Well, in closing, Korey, I'd love to hear about your vision for the company going forward. Like you said, it's sometimes difficult to predict trends. You guys seem to be keeping up with them, if not pushing the envelope and raising the bar to introduce new products to the market. The creativity and design aspect, the technology aspect that you've mentioned. So if you could picture Carpenter Decorating 10 years from now, you're the leader at the helm. What is your vision for this company?
My vision is to keep the traditional aspects of what we do, merging with technology, with new bending machines, with new garland machines, and just basically keeping everything we do in-house. We don't farm things out. We pretty much start from the bottom and do it all ourselves. Keeping that, just keeping family there. I would love to see my daughter there if she so wants to. If not, we'll figure that out. But that would be wonderful. And just creating a culture that people want to be a part of. I want our employees to be happy and creative. That's very important. And I would love to see us expand. And honestly, just being in business, just continuing the legacy that my great grandfather and great great grandmother set forth, and making them proud.
Well, I know you're making them proud, Korey. I've actually talked to your dad, and I know he's super proud of you. But I'm grateful that you guys continue to invest in this community, and what a special, unique part. And I hope that somebody today is listening that maybe didn't know that Carpenter Decorating Company existed, and especially has existed for over 9 decades. And so what a tremendous legacy. And I know you guys have scaled many obstacles over the years, many that we didn't even get into today. But I encourage you all that are watching. You just witnessed an interview with Korey Carpenter Garner. She's the 5th generation leader for this great company. And if you didn't watch the whole interview, I encourage you to go back and watch the replay. Korey, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate it. I was a little nervous.
Oh, you couldn't tell it. You did a great job. You did a great job. Well, those that are watching, I encourage you, if you liked what you've heard today, you love hearing from leaders and great businesses around this community, join us for our next Facebook Live Q&A series. This is our our Family Strong series. So we're featuring family businesses across the community that employ many people that have stood the test of time, have innovated and evolved to meet various technology demands, and have been here, and they believe in generational leadership. And so our next guest is going to be Cameron Bixby. She's with Catawba Insurance Agency in the town of Catawba. So very grateful to have them be a part of this series. So without further ado, I thank you if you're watching the replay. Thanks for hopping on. I encourage you to watch the full interview at some time that you can. But thanks for supporting your chamber. Thanks for being a partner of your chamber. And at this point, we will sign off for the day.